Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This week we're doing our monthly reading wrap-up. I'm going to tell you everything I read in the month of July. Then I'm going to rank all of the things that I read. I only read 4 books, so it's a very short ranking list. Let's just get started. So in 4th place, my least favorite book I read this month was Anatomy of a Disappearance by Hisham Matar. Just want to clarify that this happens sometimes. Sometimes I read a lot of good books in a month. It's 4th place, but I rated this one 4 stars, I think. This one is literary fiction, maybe historical, and it is about a Arab boy whose father was someone of political importance who goes missing, and just kind of his life after that, trying to grieve his father while also not knowing what happened to him. He also has a weird relationship with his stepmom. I loved Matar's writing style, and it was a solid book. I would recommend it. It just didn't hook me for some reason. And honestly, that might be my fault, because I think I pretty much read the entire thing while I was in Fort Collins. But I pretty much was reading this book either in the car, so I was on Dramamine and I was very sleepy and not totally there, or I was reading it at the end of the day when like my parents had gone to sleep and I didn't have any responsibilities left, and I had pretty much been drinking every night that I was in Fort Collins, a little bit more than I usually do, going to breweries, going to restaurants, etc. So honestly, I might have picked up on more and connected to it more if I wasn't traveling, if I wasn't distracted, and if I wasn't in an altered state more than once, let's say. But yeah, it was still good and I would recommend it, and honestly, my bad. In 3rd place, we have Ronin Rising, the last of the Shadow and Bone books. I finally finished the series. I've said this before, I love Leigh Bardugo. You might be able to see, I forget how low my camera is. I think you can just see the tops. I have, let's see, 6 of her books. I'm planning on reading the rest of the Grishaverse books, so 6 of Crows and King of Scars, and I may make a video talking about it at some point, even though it's like, are these books even like relevant? Because they're popular when I was in high school. I'm a master's student now. I think the first 2 I rated 5 stars. This one I think I would rate 4 stars. It's still good. Something about the pacing in this one seemed different. The first 2 I could pretty much like sit down and fly through. This one I think I literally finished it this morning. It's July 30th. I finished it this morning. I don't want to give any spoilers for this book. This series kind of feels like, here's my entry ticket into writing YA. Get me published. Get me, on the New York Times bestseller list. And now I'm gonna write whatever the hell I want. So I don't think it's her most interesting work, but it does a really good job of sticking to like the YA random girl is giving way too much responsibility, like that format, Like, I love Alina. She's like the crankiest person alive. I love her, but she doesn't have a whole lot of notable character traits. Like, if I were to explain her, she's like a Your Name in a fanfiction. She's a self-insert. That's all she's meant to be. Based on a lot of the other things I've read by Bardugo, that feels very intentional. Like, she knew what she was doing. She went, here you go, here's your nondescript main character who has too much power and like low-key kind of hates herself. Yeah, parts of it are very formulaic, and I don't think that's a bad thing necessarily, but I totally understand why people don't like this book, because, you have to like the way that she implements the formula, and if you don't, then like, what are you supposed to do? I will say, so the last time I read this, I think I was 16. I will say, the first time I read it, I thought Mal was just so boring. I understood, like, at the end, why he and Alina ended up together. I don't feel like that's a spoiler. Like, from the beginning that it's the 2 of them. They're the pair. Like, from the first prologue, It would be weird if that wasn't the case. So when I read it, I was like, yeah, I get it. He's a good match for her, but I still don't like him. My second time reading it through, I actually liked him a whole lot more. Like, he has a great relationship and banter with Alina, but he also has just such a deep love and appreciation for her. it just feels so unique, and it feels more than romantic. Like, they are each other's home and family. If you read it, you know what I'm talking about, but the I am become Blade, when he's basically telling her, like, if I can't be anything more than you, than a tool for you to use, I'm okay with that, because I care so much about you, that... So sweet. I liked him a lot more, and I found the Darkling a lot more annoying. I do love a bad boy. I kind of, at this point, I was like, if Alina were an adult, none of this would work. None of this would work. Could probably talk about this book for an hour. Or not this book, this, like, universe, this series. It might be worth my time to do, like, a full video talking about it. That would also be an excuse to rant about the series. I got through one episode of the series and it made me so angry. Just for not even real reasons, just for dumb reasons. Maybe I'll watch it and maybe I'll get mad on camera and then it'll be funny. Anyway, that's number 3. I'm done. I'm done with Shadow and Bone series. So at number 2 is The Princess Bride by William Goldman. It's perfect. I'm a big fan of the movie. I love the movie. Genuinely, everything about that movie is perfect. Everything about that story is perfect. No faults. That is one of the few movies that I think, from like beginning to end, is just so solid. The amount of people who have not seen the movie is actually surprising to me, so if you have not seen the movie, please go and watch it. It is so good. It is comedy, it is like fairy tale, like fantasy. It's pretty low fantasy. You know, if you're not super comfortable with fantasy, it's okay. It will ease you into it. It's very approachable. It's hard to say really anything about it. I'm going to show you some of the illustrations. It has longer chapters, so if you're not good with longer chapters, then that might be kind of a struggle. I'm not great with longer chapters, and I still finished it in maybe 3 or 4 days. Yeah, so like there's the illustrations. It's very tongue-in-cheek, it's very silly, it's making fun of like adaptation projects that take themselves too seriously. Here's another one. Yeah, I got really confused while reading the prologue, because I was like, I've never heard of this guy. Who is he adapting? And then I find out that he's not real. And it's just Goldman being silly. I've been wanting to read it for a while, and I just have never had the opportunity, but finally made it happen, and it was worth it. It gave you like a lot of cool backstory about all the characters. My number 1 book of the month was All in Her Head by Dr. Elizabeth Comen. This is a nonfiction book, and it's basically about all the gaps in medicine surrounding women. There are very few books that I would say everyone needs to read. I feel like those lists of like, if you haven't read this book, what are you doing? Everyone needs to read this, are just shaming people, and I don't approve of it. This one I would strongly encourage anyone who is involved in the medical field, anyone who is an AFAB person, assigned female at birth, anyone who identifies as a woman. If you've had negative experiences that you think might be because of your gender in the medical field, please read this, because when I was reading it, it was like everything clicked. I was like, oh, okay. There's a reason that I have just such terrible medical anxiety. There's a reason that I feel guilty about not managing my migraines better. It's because the whole system is designed to teach me that I don't know what's wrong with my own body. She breaks it down really well. There's some parts of it that are a bit jargony, like I did have to have Google open for a few of the chapters, but it wasn't too bad. So one of my favorite things that I learned from the book is that, I say favorite, but a lot of these things are like really terrifying and horrifying and scary. Women, I don't remember exactly what it is. So I think the way that they test for like heart issues, EKG maybe, whenever they do that tests on men and women, like readings, their heart will differ based on, and I'm saying women, I mean people who are female, based on where they are in their menstrual cycle, the readings will fluctuate a little differently. Whereas, you know, men fluctuate differently because men are on daily and seasonal hormone cycles. So it makes it harder, because most doctors don't know that, to like accurately read if women are having heart issues or not, if they're at risk for a heart attack. And I was like, you mean if I have a heart attack, like what I think is a pretty obvious when it happens, granted I'm not a medical professional, but like you mean that I might not get care for something that feels like very obvious? What do you mean by that? Like, so that was really interesting to me. And also another thing in the chapter on the digestive system, she said that it is harder for doctors to perform colonoscopies on women, not because of any biological differences, but because women have damaged their colon because there's that societal pressure to not, have a bowel movement in public. So if you're, holding it and you wait until you get home, you're actually like messing up your colon because that's not how it's supposed to work. It's like, I was like, oh, okay. So it was cool. She addressed some like actual biological differences between the sex and then some that are social. Society has physically affected our bodies and our medical well-being. I don't really have any critiques of it. Honestly, I rated it 5 stars. The only thing I would say is some of the jargon was a little intimidating. I hope that... I did look it up because I was originally going to include this as a critique, but I feel like that's unfair because I don't think there's... It doesn't look like there's very much research about this. I am curious about the experience of transgender and non-binary folks in the medical field, and not necessarily with gender-affirming care. Like, there is research about that being published, but beyond that, like, just, going to your primary care physician, going to a specialist for something that doesn't have to do with hormones. Because, if, like, gender bias has reached every subfield within the medical profession. So I'm just curious, like, how those, like, if doctors are getting their wires crossed when they're taught to treat women one way and they're taught to treat men another way, and now they're treating someone who is both in a way. Maybe they were assigned male at birth and now they identify as a woman, they're a transgender woman. Like, what is happening in those scenarios? Because there's a book that I can put it on screen, I'll remember what it is later. My sociology professor recommended it to me, and it's about how transgender men who can pass receive basically a social boost in the workplace. They do a lot better in the workplace if they are perceived as a man. So like how does the like gendered assumptions work? You're working on a very tight binary and then you completely disrupt it. I hope that more research is done about that, because that's really, really cool, and I would love to learn like how that's working. So those are the 4 books I read. I've probably rambled for 30 minutes now. I don't really know what I'm gonna read next month. I know for sure I'm reading Bury Our Bones. I'm planning on reading that. I'm planning on doing a reading vlog talking about it. I've heard it's really good, but we'll see. It's V.E. Schwab and it's gay vampires. What? I also think I'm gonna read... This book probably is going to be my nonfiction book while I'm off school. I pretty much have 1 more week and then I'm done. And then I have a couple books that I can pretty much check out immediately on Libby. Dark Places by Gillian Flynn. This is one girl by her. I love her. But yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to read. You guys will find out in a month from now. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, click that button. Come to hang out, come join the family. We'll have fun here. I post every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Central Time. I'd appreciate if you leave a like, leave a comment on this video. Let me know what you're reading right now, which of the books I mentioned that you're excited for next month. Would love to hear from you guys in the comments. I don't get very many comments, so you'll definitely get a like from me, maybe a reply if I'm feeling like I have thoughts. You can also follow me on TikTok. I'm pretty active there right now. It's just Draw Busy. I'll have it linked in the description. And I also have an Etsy shop that will also be linked in the description. Go follow the socials, go check it out. We're having a sale August 11th, so I say we, it's just me. All that will be linked in the description. Otherwise, I'll see you guys next week.